Alien Earth, which is something we'll also wrap up just for a little bit, guys. I know we don't have a whole crowd full of folks that are into this show, but we are watching it, and I gotta say, the show is not letting up. It is
giving me nightmares.
Is it giving you nightmares?
Nightmares. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I go to the bathroom at night, I'm like, I need a fucking nightlight because if a xenomorph comes popping out on me when I'm trying to get sleep, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know when you're in your house and your house makes like weird, like random noises and stuff, and I'm like, is that chittering? Fucking drool's about to come off me. I swear to God, this fucking show. I haven't watched something with like a blanket covering my eyes and my fingers in a really long time. And this fucking show right here, swear to God, hands down, I'm scared for every scene that comes on the fucking screen. Like bro, I don't know how else to tell you about this fucking show, but this shit is next level. Alien. Oh my God. I never want to see one of these things. This is exactly why, Vince, I will never fucking go to space. You will never see me sign up for that shit ever. This shit right there. If I saw an eyeball with tentacles coming fucking running at me, oh, hell the fuck no, I would have a heart attack right there.
All right. Calm down. All right. Time out. Flag on the play. There's so many reasons to not go to space, yes. All right. Number one.
All of them are death related, is why I'm never going.
There's no breathable air. All right. There's a gravity issue. There's this whole pressurized issue.
The food, I'm out.
Food? It's not a restaurant. It's space.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? I can't eat toothpaste. What the fuck?
But the one thing that shouldn't keep you from going to space is the threat of aliens from a movie from a TV show.
Listen, we just had a UFO hit one of our satellites, and it was like actually like, we actually saw it actually happen. Okay, we don't know what the fuck is up there, okay? And we keep trying to learn things. We're gonna bring home a xenomorph or one of these motherfuckers right here. I swear to God. Hell the fuck no, man. This is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, and then it turns to one eyeball, and then it takes over the whole body. Fuck that thing, dog. Just like, oh my God, if I had a book, I would fucking just like, oh my God.
Yo, this thing is starting to be my favorite character in the freaking show while you bullshitting. Yo, this thing and the little lamb and just be looking at your ass like.
No, he's and then he's like standing up looking at you like.
Yo, well, listen. This all right. I said this last week too, but I think maybe it wasn't last week, maybe it was the week before. One of the best parts about this show, because when Ty first told me about the show, I was like, Alien, I kind of, after Prometheus and some of the movies, I was like, all right, and some of them have been good. I admit, like some of the most recent ones haven't been trash, all right, but there was a period where it was like, all right, AVP, all right, so when it was done, I was like, oh, okay, all right. But then he was like, yo, you gonna be like, this the best show. And so I was like, all right, whatever. I started watching it at first. The first episode, I was like, all right, this is what I expected. All right, and it is what it is. But by the second episode, when they started getting into cyborgs, synthetics, but more importantly, the different alien species outside of the xenomorph and the body snatchers that we're used to, that's when I started to get really intrigued. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I've been thinking of Alien Earth as like, oh, we're going to get big xenomorph guy. He's going to come down somewhere. Earth is going to be all about how the xenomorphs take over the aliens on Earth and all that other stuff. And then they become members of the culture, just like it is in Star Trek, excuse me. But come to find out, what I'm learning is Alien Earth doesn't necessarily mean xenomorph Earth, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Because that's what the first thing I'm thinking is Alien Earth means one of these dudes and Earth. But no, there's a whole bunch of different aliens. And so when we're talking Alien Earth, it's not just Sigourney Weaver and the thing inside its mouth and them putting the eggs in your heart. And no, there's a whole bunch of other shit to worry about. There's a freaking wasp that spit acid on a synthetic's face and it melted off. You know what I'm saying? There's a freaking eye that inhabits your body through your eyeball. But I think that the eye, oddly enough, is a good guy. That my instinct is
Hell
still
no,
telling
he's
me.
not. He's trying to get the fuck out. That's why
Oh,
he
no.
wanted. Listen, he trapped that motherfucker in the cage. First of all, he was watching him, saw him doing that stupid, like, I don't know what the fuck that whole ordeal was with him trying to put the food in. Like, dude, open the door, slide the food, close the fucking door. Why do you have to turn the whole? I was like screaming at him, like, you're gonna get stuck. And then sure enough, what did the damn sheep do?
Dunk.
Fucking.
Yep. Well, hold on. I don't know.
Trapped him in there so that way he could get stuck. So that way someone would come and help him out. They would try and be frantic, and then maybe they would accidentally choose the sheep, and then the sheep would fucking get out. That thing is beyond fucking smart. It's like next level genius. Okay, like I think the biggest target thing that we should be scared of in this series is the fucking eyeball. The xenomorphs, yes, they're scary, but the eyeball can inhabit your entire body. Like let's start there.
But the eyeball literally fought a xenomorph.
No.
Like they're not on the same team.
No.
What's up?
All right. So, when it comes down to these aliens, you have to think about what we just finished talking about for 30 minutes on Foundation. Survival. Mm-hmm. When that survival instinct kicks in, do whatever you have to do to survive.
Yep.
And I think that you're right, there are multiple different species of aliens on these ships, some in which the alien may work with, and some in which it has a very aggressive relationship with. We saw how it reacted to the xenomorphs. We saw how it reacted to the other alien that shot its load into the water. I don't know what else to call it, man. It shot its kids.
So you're talking about the leech thing?
Water. Yes.
The little, like, oh god, that was so gross.
It shot it into the lady's water. And those things, remember, all of its babies was in the water. So I mean, I don't know what else you call that. Listen. If you can come up with a better term, by all means, apply it. But
I wish it had a sound when it did it. That would have been even better.
Yeah.
And then it was like just flew away,
But we know that those particular species are like a spore. They have like a spore thing where they release a spore and then it makes you hemorrhage from the inside out. So that's another species. What it looks like is that eyeball is more than just an eyeball. What it does is it looks like it maps your DNA and then starts to change. Did you notice that the eyeball changed into the exact same copy of the eyeball that was on the other side of the goat's head?
Yes.
Which it initially didn't do, which tells me that it is mapping that goat's DNA to be able to either turn into a goat itself, because that is a small thing. So I don't know if it has to attach and then map your DNA and then becomes you. So like the invasion of the body snatchers, like this is literally that what we're seeing in real time when in terms of how these things turn into the next level. So we saw that one trying to help that lady because the species, maybe that was one that it's aggressive towards. So it wasn't trying to let that species get out before it got out. Maybe it could kill each other. I don't know. These are a lot of assumptions. But what I'm saying that I do know is that eyeball definitely knew exactly what it was doing by hitting that glass and locking him in here. Yaz, you got to understand, and this is where good directing comes into play. You can never forget that these robots are actually kids. You cannot forget that.
I don't.
Well, to your point, you said, why didn't his dumbass just stick the thing in there?
Oh, yeah, okay, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's because he's a fucking child.
You're right. I forget that. You're right. I forget that point. And then you know what reminds me? The black kid. when he was like, when he was like so upset. Like, you want to hang out with me? Fine. Everyone's lame. No one's like fun anymore. And then he was like, okay, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do, and then we'll hang out later. We will.
For real? Really?
Yeah.
You hang out? For real?
I love you. He's like, what are you doing? I'm giving you an
adult hug. Adult hug. I love that dude, man. He's like my favorite. He's like,
really? I feel like he's gonna die really bad.
He's not fun anymore.
I feel like he's gonna die really bad, Vince. Like that's why we like him so much. He's gonna die really badly.
Oh, I hope not. But let me go back to before our boy, because the dude who oh man, I gotta stop doing this. I gotta be better at this.
Oh, I got the names. Who?
The guy who y'all was talking about who went into the lab like an idiot, and
his name is
Toodles.
His name's
Toodles, right? Toodles. Well, Toodles is on. He was a superhero in something I just saw. I forgot what that was, but do y'all know him?
He's been in a lot of different like random stuff. Like his I know what you're talking about.
What was it, Ty?
Kit. He was in the Shadow, Shadow and Bones on.
Shadow and Bone.
Shadow and Bone.
Guns. He was the dude with the guns on Shadow.
Yeah, he was a badass. He was a badass in that
shit. He's been on a couple things. He's been on the School for Good and Evil, which was another magic-driven show.
Oh yeah, he was on there.
That came on.
That's right. That's the show. That's the one. Actually, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one I'm talking about. He was badass in that one too.
Can we talk about this clip here from Times Square? Okay, this advertisement right here. If I was driving and I didn't like know what was going on here, and I was going towards that fucking thing, this would make me crash. That shit would make me fucking crash. Straight up, I would be like, "Oh shit!" Like God knows where the fucking steering wheel and how fast I'm going. Like everybody around would have been fucking dead. Like that is some scary shit. They better not do that shit in Orlando, because if I'm on the fucking highway and I see one of those things popping out, I'm fucking done, dude.
Oh, that's really dope though, and that corner is notorious. Well, I shouldn't just say that corner. I'm sure there's a lot of corners in the Times Square area. I would dare to say that's somewhere around 42nd Street, not too far from the Javits Center. And
coming out though, fuck
that. It looks really dope. I love that integration. But yeah, if you were in New York, you wouldn't see this while you were driving because you'd be on the train. And you'd be using your Metro card. No, I promise you would not. If you were, you'd be an idiot, if I'm being honest. Because look, you see those cars, you see how they're not moving.
New York, driving in New York. Well, you're from New York, so you know the traffic. The traffic in New York is crazy.
No, it's not.
The traffic in New York is crazy, and on top of that, the driving of the cab drivers are they drive like you will get in a cab in New York and be like, yo, and they'll be like, oh, I'm good. You're okay. You'll be okay. I'm like, oh,
yeah. And don't even get into the war. Don't even get into the war between cab drivers and Uber drivers. Like, there's a whole war going on up there right now with like cab drivers and Uber drivers. But yeah, like now, don't get me wrong. New York City in its entirety, there are some soft spots. Queens specifically, Long Island. I don't know if people consider Long Island is technically not considered the city, obviously. But Queens, you can drive around in Queens in certain areas. All right, Brooklyn, you can drive around, but Manhattan, don't even think about it. Don't even try, because I'm gonna tell you what, you might get away with going down the street for a couple minutes and not having to be in traffic. But when it's time to park, that's another 2 hours of driving, because you ain't gonna be the front. If you got a parking garage, it's gonna be like $100,000. All right, so yeah, I wouldn't recommend driving in Manhattan. Now, Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn, yeah, but Manhattan, nah, leave it to the train, bro. But anyway, I want to say this part. Toodles sealed his demise the moment he was asked to go to the lab, and old boy was like, "Is Curly with you?" And he looked back, was like, "No," and she was sitting right there.
Yep.
She was sitting right there with old boy, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to all myself, because I've been reading books and that, I downloaded this and that." And so then he gets into
where you going?
And she's like, "Yo, you need some help?" He's like, "Nope." And so, lo and behold, your dumbass locks yourself inside the shit. All right, because there was nobody there to hold the door for you, because you wanted to go and do this as a big boy all by yourself. That was the moment he said she's not here. I was like, "Oh, he's dead. He's dead."
He ripped off the door. Remember the door to feed the. That's why he opened it, because he ripped off the. He hulked that shit
Yeah,
off
but
and
he,
was like, oh.
yes, he opened it and went all the way inside. Like he couldn't just slide. I would have been
That's
one
what
of
I'm
these.
saying. Like he had the foot that shouldn't even be holding the door open, and it was like barely even that. That's why the sheep was waiting for his ass, dog. It was, and then it was just watching him like, what's gonna happen?
Classic horror movie. That was literally the horror movie moment. You're like, don't go in the door.
Oh, I screamed. I screamed after the thing came out, and he was like on his arm, and he was like, "Oh, hey, little bug, hey," and then it was like, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's pissing on him! Oh my god!"
There was like a real quick moment where you were like, "Oh, look, it might be." You were like, "Oh yeah, it's an alien." That's what this movie is. That's what this show is called.
And then the fly thing was like eating its like synthetic blood, and it was like,
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
So when the other ones, like when he left the door open, okay, like what the fuck? Can we talk about that part? Can we just skip forward and just like go into that with the whole Smiley trapping Dr. Glenn, I think his name was, or whatever the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so in this version, in this episode, in the most recent episode, as we all know, I forget his name.
I think it's Smiley.
Slightly.
That's what it is. Okay, slightly.
Slightly is being coerced by Morrow to do his bidding, which is a whole thing in itself, because how come he can talk? Why does he have a direct link to him?
Thank you.
How come nobody else hears him?
Because he got the direct link when they were on the ship and they encountered him for the first time, and then he basically touched.
Touched
and put some type of device onto Slightly's neck.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
Now, and by the way, the idea that no one else can hear him is not the case, because the whole time Kirsch has been monitoring conversations between Morrow and what you call it. And by the way, Kirsch is fully aware of what the fuck is going on in the lab, and told the boy genius that everything is all good.
Yes, he did.
Kirsch, and I said this, I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago, that the way that the boy genius kept belittling Kirsch and treating Kirsch as though he was just a toaster oven. And like Kirsch was getting into his feelings, and you're like, oh, he's synthetic, he can't have feelings. Well, apparently that's not the case. Apparently he can have feelings, and he's butthurt, and he's like, look, now it's fuck humans. I might just get rid of y'all. I might be like, getting rid of y'all might be the right thing to do.
I mean, I don't know if that's where he's going. I think it's a little more.
That's absolutely where
he's going towards fuck humans. I mean, I don't know if just because he doesn't like the boy genius, because he don't like Prodigy.
It's not just that. See, you got to pay attention to the conversations he's been having on the sideline. He's had a conversation with Wendy, and he told Wendy, because remember, Wendy told the doctor what Kirsch told her, and said, so basically it's at this point where Kirsch is telling her, and also her brother, like how humans, like what he's perceiving from humans, and what they do. So I'm telling you, there's the interaction between Kirsch and Morrow in the elevator. Like there's a lot going on.
But the conversation between him and Hirsch was more about the difference between synthetics and cyborgs, not humans. I mean, he definitely.
Did you not hear?
I heard him speak about the weaknesses of having human capabilities, but it didn't.
That's not it. See, this is why you got to listen better. What I'm telling you is, Morrow said to Kirsch, are you tired of what? That you're tired of the humans using you like such and such and such or whatever. Yep. And he was like, oh Papa, something. So it was more about the relationship between Kirsch and how his human creators are treating him, and Morrow was tapping into that because he saw that there was a little bit of like thing, and then he basically jabbed him with the whole you like where does the human end the machine thing? Mm-hmm. You're just mad because you're not all the way this. You know what I'm saying? that was a telling conversation because it really talks about how you add yourself to anything you create. So like it's like that whole religious thing about being made in God's image, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Christianity, Christians believe that we were made in the image of God. And then if you think about it from the terms of a creator creating something that resembles himself and adding whatever pieces of himself to that thing, or that thing picking up on pieces of its creator and becoming that thing, then it starts to speak to the things that we're dealing with as a society right now, which is division and all of the kind of things of feeling like because this is different and I don't understand it, I don't like it, or you know what I mean. And that was that whole back and forth between Morrow and thing where it's like cyborgs aren't machines and aren't synthetics, and oh well, synthetics is this and that, and it's like that. I was like, wow. So even with machines, we got this division, and you know what I'm saying? Like you can't even, you know what I mean? So there's a lot going on within this show and the layers of this show that I see, and I'm like, yo, that's a dope way to approach that. Like, that's like this is getting like even with the aliens have the same problems. Like they're dealing with division and they're dealing with the different species not being able to coexist. It's like those things are like these are real-time problems that we have in the world, and you're getting to see it addressed by aliens and robots.
I love that. I love that. And I just want to jump back to the conversation in that elevator and how chilling it was and how brilliant it was to have those two beings confront each other in an elevator of all places, where it could have gone down and there was no walk away, quick escape. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so brilliant. It was so cold, the conversation. Morrow sitting there, oh yeah. It's funny. I love killing synthetics because they don't really feel. They're not real. It's like, I feel the same, but I know that must suck still having that human part, that you feel pain so that when I'm taking out your eyeball, you still remember that you're human because of the pain. And they're just kind of like, And then they walk off the elevator and you're just like what's that emoji where Elmo's like that's how I was like, holy shit. They just had the most wicked beef session. Like it was like a slap boxing mentally. And it was just so direct. It kind of reminded me of you remember that there was a movie called The Program back in my day. You remember with Omar Epps, Tyra Banks, and Omar Banks? Dude, he was recruited to this college to play football, and on one of the first days, the quarterback for the team bucked up to him, and he was like, "Yo, what's your name?" He was like, "Rashid, quarterback," and he was like, "Don Travius, starting quarterback." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "All right, oh shit," you know what I'm saying? I was like, "All right." So it was just the dialogue, that scripted response from each of them was so on point. Like, I was not expecting to be this wowed by an alien project. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I was not expected to be. I expected to have that horror, alien, sci-fi thing, but like the level of complexity with the script writing and the different, not only characters, but the different types of characters, from the synthetics to the cyborgs to I'm assuming that there's something in between that, because there's like a synthetic that can feel, and there's a synthetic that can't feel. The hybrids.
Yeah.
Then you got the humans, and then you got the aliens have different, so great integration. Like this right here is how you take a product and flesh it out so that we can look into some of the intricacies that go behind just the big boss that's the xenomorph. Like, I'm damn near don't give a shit about the xenomorph. Like, they've done such a good job at like giving us a wide array of characters and of different types of beings, that the xenomorph is almost the least thing. Like, it's like when you see it, it's like, okay, yeah, there's big boss, but that's not what I'm worried about. I'm more worried about the goat. I'm more worried about the shit that's eating in the cups of the folks. Like, great job. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's like making the Star Wars. It's kind of like Rogue One, where they took them like, okay, yeah, we know we got Jedi and Sith and all that, but underneath all that, there's a really good story that we should tell. I don't know, maybe not a good
analogy. Bro. There's the funny part about this show is we have yet to even encounter all the aliens. Like this is like there's a particular alien that I'm still like wondering what the fuck it is. But remember when they first got on the ship and Toodles and Curly and even Smee were standing outside of the lab, and where there was this thing hanging from the ceiling,
the plant thing,
like a plant thing or whatever, and out of it comes this long tail, like, and then it goes back up in it. But we've only seen like this long like tail come out of it a couple of times, and then it goes back in it. Well, we still don't know what's in that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we may have not even encountered the most dangerous of all the aliens yet, and that's the really really exciting part. Is we came into this thinking the xenomorphs were the worst we could be dealing with, because they're like they're top level killers.
Yes,
I'm saying, but low key we have an eyeball who may have more intelligence than any of the smartest human beings on Earth, and like times 100. And then we got these insect like creatures that every time we've encountered an insect at this point, they have some type of defense mechanism or something that is like, oh my god, like you get acid on you, you get spores that make you bleed from the inside out, you get like, and then here's the xenomorph. In this whole episode, we see him watching as all of this shit is going down. He's not panicking. He's not trying to go against the glass. He's very docile in that moment. And when everything is happening, when the goat hits the glass, and then the things melt the dude, and then everything. When Slightly comes in and opens the cage to the seeds for the xenomorph babies and all of that. And they show the xenomorph and he's watching it. He's just watching, just sitting there watching. And we also find out in this episode that Wendy is learning to communicate better with the xenomorph. The xenomorph is growing.
Yep, the baby xenomorph. Yeah,
he's communicating with it and developing a relationship with it. And I told you, I really see this turning into her becoming like the xenomorph whisperer, and like she's being like the last defense, Earth's last defense against this alien onslaught of whatever. Because like this is getting crazy, man. Like this is really getting crazy. And all it takes, this is how crazy things are. All it takes is one of them things getting out. Just one. That's all it takes, is one of them getting out off that island, and all hell breaks loose. As soon as that one gets out and then starts mass production, we're done for.
Prediction: that'll happen, or at least it'll be on the brink of happening at the very end of the season finale.
Like when the babies will get out of the eggs or something.
That's the last thing we'll see. Then it'll fade to bar, like, oh, now it's out. But let me throw a couple other things on top of that. So in addition to what you said about how all this is happening, I want to circle back to a couple things that have happened that have been pronounced that we may have overlooked, such as the Five and the existence of the Five, right? The 5 companies that have taken over the concept of government, right? And I loved the psychological impact of that meeting between Prodigy and Boy Genius is the Prodigy. The lady, I forget her name.
Prodigy. Yeah, Prodigy is his company name.
Company name,
and then the other one is
something, right? Yeah. But my thing is like all of this is happening because of the greed that the ones at the top are harboring, and like they're literally about to unleash Earth as a complete infected alien planet because they're arguing about who should get what. And I gotta say, as nasty as old boy's feet were to look at in that scene, he killed that role. Like that part, that scene was funny. That shit, he was sitting there and he was just like, yeah, all right, yeah, go ahead. He puts his feet, his dirty ass, nasty ass, bare feet on the table, and the lady's like, yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll give you, 15 billion. And he's like 20. She's like 10. He's like 25. He's like 20. Yo, like he played that shit so well. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was like, hey, I see you, Dexter's Laboratory. This motherfucker right here was I liked it. And then at the end, he got what he wanted. And was like, all right, well, I guess I'll give it to you at the end of the quarantine period. And she's like, wait, what? Like, yeah, you just agreed to 20 billion, and I'm still gonna keep this shit for 4 more months. I was like, oh, what? Man, I wish we had one of you in my culture, or many. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to go ahead and be Benjamin Crump for us. So I love that element of it. The whole element of the bureaucracy being the reason why this stuff's going down. The other thing that we haven't really talked about is your boy. Man, I'm bad with names. Y'all already know. I don't know names that well. I'll show up to you. You're like, who? I'm like, oh, the boy, the dude's brother, the girl's brother, her brother, his brother.
Okay.
I don't know his name.
His name is Hermit.
You don't either.
Hermit, yes. Joe is his name.
Yeah.
Joe. Oh, okay, Joe. All right. So him, and he has like a weird thing going on too, right? Because it's not just him like wanting to get his sister back. Like he's basically accepted that this is his sister, right? And as of right now, it doesn't feel like it really is. I think that he may have to, for some point, be like, oh, damn, it's not my sister. Because his sister is talking to aliens, defending aliens. They didn't ask to come here. She's almost like saying like, yo, oh, poor aliens. Feel bad for him. I can talk to one of them. He might be good. Good? Well, what is he going to do? Write a novel? What is he about to get? He's about to get baptized? Like, what, good? What did I never? Now, I will say, if they go down the direction, Ty, of giving us a blue velociraptor and we end up with like a friendly alien, I'm not going to be too receptive of that. I'm just going to keep it real. If we start having pet names for the alien and start like being all cozy and friendly because she was talking to one after it got hatched, I'm not going to like it. I'm going to keep it real. That's whack. I don't want to make friends with this alien species.
And get prepared because you're not going to like it.
Well, listen, I would much rather her go down a darker route and become more like the alien and more like the morphs than for them to start being humanized and to start trying to like distinguish which are the good versus the bad xenomorphs. Like, I'm not ready for that.
Well, this is the thing, and I think that's what we're kind of moving towards is being human determine good versus bad, like that, and that's what she's kind of going through right now. And she's made the statement to the lady, like, if this is what being human is, then I don't want to be human. Because like this is what a lot of the discussion I said about Kirsch is. Kirsch is watching in real time, how humans act. He's been around, he's known how humans act and what they do and all of those kind of things. And everything that we're seeing, if we're really watching this with an open mind, the real evil ones right now are the humans. They're right. Nobody asked them to bring the xenomorphs didn't ask to come to Earth. Those other aliens didn't ask to come to Earth. They were snatched away from their homes. They were brought over here against their will. Everybody on this show should know how to relate to that better than anyone. Yep. It's really diving into what represents good and what represents evil. And I think that in terms of what we've seen so far, the real villains of this storyline are the human beings. They are the Boy Genius, they're Utani Corp, they're the 5 corporations that are doing this shit and all of this kind of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and doing it in a way that puts us all at risk. Like that's the thing that like. You liked the fact that the Boy Cavalier pulled up with his feet out and went in there and and did all said all of the right things. But the truth of the matter is his own arrogance is what's going to cause the Earth to become alien Earth. It's the same arrogance that Utani was showing when they decided to have this ship come back to Earth. Like you're doing too much, and whenever you do too much, shit bad happens. And this is just another story of humans doing fucked up shit and winding up on the bad end of it, and then being like, "Oh man, I can't believe this happened. Oh, somebody, please." No, this is what happens when you make bad decision after bad decision.
Yes.
You know what I want to see? How the fuck did they capture all of these species? We didn't get to see any of that. You know what I'm saying? And like, remember, like at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? They were like, "Oh, there was so much bloodshed, and like we lost so many people getting these specimens. That's why they were so important to bring back, and why Utani was so like adamant about like whatever the case may be, the species are more important than the human lives."
Yeah, that could be a whole show in itself. Yes, I would watch that. And it don't even have to be live action. You could give me an animated version of how they got all these species.
Think of how they're like foraging through, and then like they figure out that like acid is the blood, and like just all kinds of shit could just like go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I just see it now. Like they're walking through some synthetic, some hybrids, some humans. Then all of a sudden they see the egg, and then the egg pops out, and then but it doesn't get the synthetic ones. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, how the fuck? Why did it only attack us? And you know what I'm saying? Then they find out that like it burst out through the chest, and you see what I'm saying? Like there's just so many layers of how cool this could be. I really, really hope that they dive into them capturing the fucking creatures, because they have so many. Like the ship is covered with them. They're in those containers. Right. How the fuck did they get a grown-ass xenomorph in that fucking container? Like, please tell me this. I know that the Morrow dude, he electrocuted it and like put it in the cage,
right, yeah,
in that weird like whatever the fuck that thing was. But I just have so many questions, and I want to see, you know what I'm saying, like how all these creatures, like they figured out like electricity was gonna, neuralize them, and there's just so many things that I'm curious about. I think.
Yeah, well, it's good stuff. What's up, Ty?
I just was gonna say that we kind of have seen something, similar to exactly what you're talking about in Prometheus, when they basically and not just Prometheus, but I think in all of these alien shows, most of these explorations are scientific explorations.
Right.
And so anytime that they encounter a new species, they use that, they get data on it and do everything that's why Kirsch accessed the computer systems to see all of the data that had been acquired in regards to all of the different species that they were able to run tests and all of this kind of stuff on. But I'm with you, Yaz. I would love to see maybe another version of Prometheus where they go and they show the scientific studies that were going on, how they watched the creatures and
because they had that whole encyclopedia of like documented on them. How the fuck did they get that? It's not like you could just there's what I'm saying, I met a new species, what I'm saying, you have to study it, and they had 65 years to get it from fucking Earth or from wherever they picked it up from back to Earth, you know what I'm saying? And like in the last year or whatever is when shit went haywire. So you know what I'm saying? Like there's just so much things I think that this show in depth wise could like show us. Like there could be another, counter series, or we could have, Alien Earth Journey, you know what I'm saying? Like, Journey to Alien, or like just something like that, because there's so many fucking species, and how the fuck did you capture them? One, realize how they can harm you. Two, and then like, you see what I'm saying? There's there's so many details in this show that they're bringing out that we've never seen them in any other show, especially with the different species. So I have so many questions about like how the fuck did they get them and how they figure out those containers were gonna hold them. You see what I'm saying? Like,
oh wow, that's a good one too. I in my head I'm like, yo, I'm still trying to kind of figure out where Alien Earth fits on the timeline along with Sigourney Weaver's Alien movie. My suspicion was that this was a prequel. But what you're describing sounds like a prequel of this prequel, and I'm here for it. And I could even see like some alien bounty hunter badass group that gets paid billions upon billions of dollars to go sleep in a cryo chamber and then come out and then bring us these aliens because a guy like the Prodigy just wants to have that money. I could see it. I'm here for that type of storyline.
Like think about Mission Space with like Marines, you know what I'm like Space Marines, you know what I'm saying, to go capture, you know what I'm saying, the alien creatures and figure out what can hold them, you know what I'm saying, and like how they can be held. Like there's just so many things in detail with this series that they could dive into, I think. Agreed.
Explaining things definitely works. There's a scene right here that I think we all saw that I'm curious to see. The Fly, when it did end up killing Toodles, I guess there's some background info on it. Let's listen in and hear what they say.
We have a creature called the Fly that, like a fly, digests its food on the outside. And so it vomits a kind of acid and then slurps up what's left of you. And, you know, what's special about this creature is that what it eats on its own planet is metals, alloys, minerals.
These flies don't really hurt organic beings like humans.
The fly lives off minerals. It's a bit of an issue for us in our tech lab that is basically made of metal.
It's not necessarily a threat to humanity, but if you're a synthetic creature like the hybrids, now you're a meal.
So this thing is actually exclusively hazardous to synthetics alone.
Yeah. Anything that's metal related, anything that's created with metal alone. So like an alloys, and that in itself, that's what I'm saying. Like these species have got so much in depth of like what they do and don't eat, what they do and don't harm. You see what I'm saying from this series? There's so many questions that go into depth of just like, you know, why is the fly eating the, you know what I'm saying, like all the metal, you know what I mean, and like, but the xenomorphs only go after the humans. You see what I'm saying? Like there's just so many like the technology and why the species does what it does. I think that is something that's very interesting, and I think that we should definitely expound on that, because I mean there's just so many different reasons why, like the plant, for example. They feed that thing fucking meat. That the plant, they fed it meat. He had a fucking tray of steaks feeding the plant, okay? And with alloys and shit. Like if you saw all the stuff that was all like, so I mean that thing, there's so much shit that we don't know. Like, so it eats both, it eats synthetics and humans, because like you see it, like, so yeah, that might be our apex predator, because you see what I'm saying? The xenomorphs only eat humans. You know what I mean? Like the alien synthetics. I mean, Wendy kicked that thing's fucking ass in the dark. Like, let's be serious. She fucked that thing up, okay? Like head chopped off, acid everywhere, and she didn't have a fucking scratch or nothing on her. So what level of like what becomes the alpha and what becomes the beta is what I want to know on this level, and like who and why. You know what I'm saying? Like what species and where, because there's so many questions.
Yes, the xenomorph actually killed Wendy. When she did cut his head off, but she also died. Remember, they had to resurrect her at the place. Like she was like, remember they had to take her back because she was all of that, the whatever that stuff, that white blood that they have or whatever was coming out of her. Like, yeah, Wendy.
Oh yeah. Okay,
but I'm just saying, like.
No, but she did. You're right.
She did kill that bitch.
She murked that thing in the dark, dude. Like, let's be serious.
She did, absolutely. And
they're kids, so imagine Kirsch or Morrow. You see what I'm saying? Like, no wonder why they're not like, Morrow is just like walking around like, oh, I gotta go get the xenomorph and bag him back up and put him back in his kit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not scared of it. He's like, oh shit, well, you're gonna die. You're human. Sorry, goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew all that shit when he was on the ship with them, and that's why he let the captain die, basically, because he's like, sorry, mother, I need the cockpit. the escape cockpit, and then like, yeah, and that in itself too is like, how did he survive inside of the ship with the xenomorph trying to break into there? Like, I just there's you know what I'm saying? And then it just like pops open and he's like fully fine. This show has so many questions to it, and I think like I'm getting too scientifical with it, and I think that's why I'm enjoying watching it more than it's scaring the shit out of me.